What's up, guys? Dusty Shaw, Holistic Fitness and Nutrition. It's been close to 6 months since I've talked to you guys. Just want to give you an update. I went out to San Diego, California, and went out there and went through a recovery program and for substance abuse and also for training. And had a really productive, the recovery, or the rehab sucked. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that before I get into the main content of the video, which is the main content of this video is going to be on what I'm going to be focusing on in my upcoming videos. I'm going to be doing regular fitness vlogs again, which you can watch my past ones to kind of get an idea. But I'll basically be showing you highlights of my training, eating, cycling, everything involved in my transformation. All right, so, but just to give you a quick update on, what's been going on, and where I'm at in my recovery today is I finally came to a place where I really, for the first time ever, since I started practicing abstinence and trying to stay clean, finally came to a place where I feel like I've found my own way. While rehab was not good for me, I did learn some things, and it was mostly what doesn't work for me, and works for some others. I'm going to explain what I mean by that, and I think this is going to help some of you that may be may have a similar personality type as me, because I finally figured out why 12 steps, meetings, rehabs, all these things that are socially dominant always tended to make me worse instead of better. Now, the first thing I want to preface this with is I am not anti-12 steps, AA, NA, meetings, rehabs, or any of that, because it does work for some people. It is a very small minority, but I don't care. If it works for some people, then that's great. And so regardless, even if you relate to me, I would still recommend trying it, just in case maybe for some reason it does click with you. Because I do know people that have gotten clean and sober and stayed that way through 12-step programs such as AA and NA. So I would never dog them, all right? But the one issue with them is they do often talk like that's the only way, and that's not just true. One of the things I learned in rehab is that actually well over 50% of people who get clean and sober actually do it entirely alone. Meaning they do not use 12-step meetings and programs. All right. So you are statistically more likely to get clean without 12-step meetings and programs. But that does not mean that it may not help you. Some people, that is how they've gotten clean and sober, and I know those people. So the program definitely works for some people. Let me explain why it doesn't work for me and why finding out has really helped me. All right. I've been clean the entire 3 months since I've been out of that rehab, and I've done it completely on my own with fitness-based recovery, which is going to be something I'm going to include in my content from here forward, because it's the one thing I found worked for me time and time again, whereas heavily socially dominant things like 12-step programs and meetings and rehabs don't. So you are either introverted dominant or extroverted dominant. This is so important that CIA spies, the first thing they are taught to discern in a person is whether they are an introvert or extrovert. All right. I heard Andrew Bustamante, CIA spy, the everyday spy, who's got a podcast on YouTube, he's on a lot of other people's podcasts, say that it's the first thing you learn in CIA school. And the reason being, well, one among many, is if you wanted to take an introverted person out and get them comfortable so you can get information from them, you would not take them out to a loud, noisy bar or any social things like parties, because it's distracting and stressful to them. All right. So you would want to take them somewhere quiet, like the living room of your home, or a quiet coffee shop or library. All right. If it's an extroverted person, you take them to a party, socially dominant place, that will help them liven up. That's their place where they're comfortable. Okay? Well, what do the 12 steps and rehabs focus on? This is why rehabs, and this one, like all the others, were so miserable for me and just take me backwards. I am heavily introverted. Now, I am very good at being social. I've been running a successful business myself for close to 10 years. And before that, I was doing personal training, all right, and fighting professionally. I fought televised fights. I fought in huge crowds of people, got on the microphone. I've ran sales classes and meetings for Gold's Gym when I worked for them. So I can be social. I'm good at it, but I don't like it. It's stressful to me. I don't like being around groups of people. Very stressful and uncomfortable to me. All right. So rehabs, you are in groups all day long. You have no time for yourself. It is absolutely miserable and debilitating to me. And by the end of it, I am so anxious, depressed, and stressed out. It has always pushed me to use. So what I've found is so many of the things the 12 steps teach are opposite for me and many other people who may be introverted or antisocial. All right. So what I found is I have to have a certain amount of downtime on a daily basis to feel psychologically balanced. And if I do not give that time to myself, I am no good to anyone else or myself. So that's why I found getting up early with a morning routine to myself, working out to myself with no headphones, no music, just pure quiet, just earplugs, and meditating. I have to have time alone and quiet time to feel balanced out. Then I can spend time with my family or do social stuff. Okay? So when they talk as if that's the only way and it can work for anyone that works it, that is not true. And we know that statistically. More people get clean without it than do. All right? So if you're struggling with substance abuse disorder and your personality type is similar to mine, all right, and you find that those meetings trigger you to use and cause you to be more stressed, anxious, and depressed, and it's not working, then give it up. It's not the only way, okay? So, like I said, I found for me every time, the only times I have ever been able to abstain from drugs is when I have a strict daily routine that is goal-oriented. Remember, no goal, no positive emotion. That is how the dopamine circuitry works in our brain. It's not the reward circuitry, it's the pursuit circuitry. So if you're not pursuing a meaningful goal, you're not going to have dopamine. All right, not sufficient amounts anyway. And that's what leads people to chase it in the forms of food, drugs, alcohol, sex, etc. Cell phone usage, YouTube, social media. So I don't want to, carry on too long about this because that's not what this video is mainly about. But I did want to tell you that I finally learned it enough times to where I'm done with the social programming and recovery. I'm done with it. I've always been better off without it. I'm always successful when I stay away from it and I give myself alone time. And I've stayed clean very easily the past 3 months since I've been back. Now, moving forward to the content of this video. One of the key things that I say, having goals, no positive emotion, dopamine, all right? Fitness is one of the only things that you have 100% complete control over. If you do not feel good about the way you look, you are not going to be happy, all right? It's one of the few things you have 100% control over. It's you who decides what food you put in. It's you who decides how much sleep you get in. It's you who decides how much movement you get in, how much sunlight you get, all these things. All right? So start prioritizing these things so that you feel better. As when you feel better, that's when you do your best. That's when you're the most successful. Now, if you're like me and you abuse drugs or steroids, then you may very well have low testosterone. If you're anxious, depressed, low energy, just all around low mood, low sex drive, those are all signs of low testosterone. All right, and I checked all the boxes and went and got tested. I was low testosterone. So I've been running 200 milligrams of testosterone on and off for years. All right, now when it comes to cycling, when to take higher doses of test or adding other compounds, it got to the point to where it was no longer working for me. And I was doing what's popular now, which is blasting and cruising. So that would be taking the 200 to 250 milligrams of testosterone for a few months and then bumping it up to 500, 750, 1,000 and adding other compounds. and then for 2 to 3 months, and then back again down to the 200 to 250 range of testosterone and no other compounds, back and forth. All right. Well, what I found, and this is what the pros did in the 90s, is that even backing down to that 200 to 250 milligram doses of testosterone, your body is used to that compound. All right. Your androgen receptors are desensitized by taking it. It doesn't matter that you lowered the dose. It does not resensitize unless you come completely off. And I found this out time and time again by when I went to rehab. I came off the testosterone completely for 3 months. And when I went back on, it was not like the very first cycle I took. It'll never feel like magic like that, but it's the closest it ever felt again. All right. So I started getting gains again. I dropped down to close to 170 something pounds by being off testosterone, and because I was in groups the entire day. I had no time to work out. They lied to me and said that I would be able to work out there. They give you a gym membership, but they give you no time to go to the gym. So, and that's another reason that this rehab was not successful for me or hardly anyone else there. All right, you just have no time to yourself, and that affects most everyone, but some people worse than others. So what I'm getting at with the TRT is you have to come off if you want to maximize your gains. All right. So I recommend coming off of it at least a couple times a year. And when you come off of it, you can run HCG. All right, there's Clomid and other things you can add to it, but the main thing is HCG. What this does is it increases your natural test production, all right? Because when you're on exogenous testosterone, your normal testosterone stops producing. So I highly recommend, if you've been on TRT for a long time, that you come off, use HCG. You can get it prescribed. You can order it online from peptide sites. But come off, and I promise you, it's like taking one step backwards and take 3 or 4 steps forward. Over a 6-month year period, you will get way more gains by coming off and going back on because your androgen receptors resensitize. So I came back in October from rehab, and I was 170 something pounds. And here it is, just a little over 3 months later, I am back to 230 pounds, as you can see in the picture. That picture was just taken an hour ago. You also see in the thumbnail my book. For those of you that have not ordered my book, order it from me, all right? This book covers every steroid from A to Z, growth hormone, insulin, all your ancillaries, blood pressure, blood sugar, blood lipids, regulation, all of it. All right. This is a one-size-fits-all book on how to properly run all these things. All right. So, and just email me and mention this video, and I'll give it to you at a discount of just $20 instead of the normal $30. All right. Another cool thing about this book that I decided to do, my last book is on Amazon, 30 Days to Stronger. This book, I decided to end up keeping off Amazon, and what I'm doing is I just edit it, and this is volume 2 of it. So if you order it now or anytime after this, you will get the updated version. And I'm going to, every so often, as new things come out or new information I get, I'm going to update it. So it will be different volumes. So it will always be up to date. Okay. As always, I offer online fitness coaching. Okay. I will write you up a completely customized meal and training plan for just $100. If you want me to coach you, I do it for $200 a month. So I'll write you up this customized plan, but you'll also check in with me on either a daily or weekly basis, depending on your accountability needs. You want to make a transformation, not just of your body, but of your mind and spirit? This is the way to go through coaching. I still each year hire a coach. Now, it is mainly for my purpose. My biggest interest is just seeing how other online coaches operate their business, see if there's anything I can learn business-wise, but also to hold myself accountable and push my own gains. So anyway, guys, As always, thank you for watching the video. Thank you for supporting me, all my clients. I appreciate all your love and support. Buy my book, hire me as a coach, or get a customized training plan. This is the way to go. You will learn everything you need from me, and you won't need my coaching anymore. Hit me up. Love to help you guys.